I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Mohammed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Do you get like a sort of a royalty reception in Chinatown, John?
I've been outside, a few people recognise me, but they're English people. I don't think a lot of the Chinese people who actually recognise me, but it's just a bit of pleasure to come here and meet Big Bang.
Well, he might put you on his TikTok, so if he puts you on the TikTok there, you'll be a megastar in China.
Well, I might put them on mine, so have a think about that.
Tell him straight, John, don't hold your words. Yeah, nice.
No, I've got my own, Henry. We were banned. Wilberchoss was banned at 500,000 followers. We don't know why. But I've got my own TikTok, Big John. Have a look.
I see some of the videos from Will in Mexico. Questionable.
Yeah, well, you have a look. We done the Chinese sit-down last night with Coogan. And his mum's not happy about one of the videos that was put on it. So that's all down to Henry, the editor.
I can probably have a guess at which video that was, but we'll move on from that. Give your video with Coogan a quick plug. I haven't watched it yet. I know it came out last night, but tell them what channel they can find it on. They should know, but plug your channel, plug that video with Coogan. Listen,
it's the first one we filmed in the Blue Orchid, normally at home. It's on YouTube, Bosch TV. It is well worth a watch. It's quite comical. You watch how Big John Chinese sit down. It is quite light-hearted. So if you've got spare half hour, give it a watch. You won't be disappointed.
Is he good to interview?
He was very good, and we've done a couple of little scenes, and I was quite surprised at how good he was at acting. So I think there could be a future for him in films or TV.
Oh, he did used to be an actor. I'm sure he told you in the thing.
He did tell us, and we did go over that, but he was very good. I have to say, he was very good.
You're not telling him to quit the day job, though, are you?
No, he's got too much to offer in the day job, so he could do a little bit on the side.
Yeah, we've had your discussion with Zhang about food. We've talked enough about food, John, although you could probably go for a bit more, couldn't you?
Listen, anyone, wherever you come from in the world, if you sit down at a restaurant with food, you can find common ground. So, but I've got to say, listen, I told Big Bang, we're Joe Joyce supporters, we want Joe to win, no hiding that, but he's a lovely man, you can't help but not like him, so wish him all the best in his career after Saturday night.
A very tough fight for Joe this Saturday night. Anyone who's watched Zhang knows he can crack, and we know early on Joe does take a lot of shots, so them first 2 or 3 rounds are going to be quite nervy for a Joe Joyce supporter.
Listen, it's a tough fight for both men, you know, they've both got a lot to lose, but as he said, we were talking in the interview there, you're a boxer because you want to beat the best, and he thinks it's just normal to fight another top man like Joe, and Joe's exactly the same. Joe hasn't ducked anyone. And it's going to be a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it. There's about 25, 30 of us all going. So we're all going to cheer Joe on, but we wish both men all the very best.
Yeah, big night in the capital, live on BT Sport this Saturday night. If, and in your hopes, when Joe Joyce gets the business done this Saturday, I've seen you quite vocal on social media, John, about, you know, he warrants a big fight now, whether it's Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua maybe. I want to ask you about that. Anthony Joshua did make some comments, I don't know if you saw, before the Franklin fight, saying, I'd love that fight with Joe Joyce. We're from the same country. I think he's talking about obviously here and Nigeria. Both got Nigerian heritage. It'd be a mega fight. Yeah, it's time for Joe Joyce to get a big one after this.
You know, what has Joe Joyce got to do? He beat Dubois when no one else wanted to face him. He's beat Joe Parker, former world champion. And now he's having to fight someone like Zhang, you know, and what's he got to do to get that shot at that world title? I would like to see him fight Anthony Joshua. I think it'd be a great fight. As you say, both from London, both got Nigerian heritage. What more do you need? I think it'll sell out Wembley Arena, it'll sell out anywhere, you know, and I don't know when AJ's going to fight next. Hopefully Joe comes through Saturday night all good.
He said December. Did you see his post last night?
I saw December. You don't know whether that's kidology, you don't know what. And if it's December, but I'd like to see Joe Joyce fight Anthony Joshua, I definitely would.
How does he get on with Tyson Fury? Because I know you rate Tyson Fury as the best heavyweight in the world. How does the Juggernaut get on with him?
As I said, I'm not going to lie. I think Tyson Fury's the best one out there in the world at the moment. But I do think, I do think Joe Joyce gives him the hardest night's work out there of anyone. And I think Tyson will probably understand that as well. I think Tyson will know he's got to beat him over the full 12 rounds. And Joe will give him a real good night's fight. So, again, another fight I'd love to see.
Johnny, just quickly drag you in, mate. Can't interview your dad with Zhang and not get his own son involved.
This is the way it's gone now. Big John has surpassed me, and I can't handle it.
Yeah, I was just talking about, Joe, after this, should he get the win, warrants the big one, really, whether it's a big money fight with Joshua, a Tyson Fury world title shot. Obviously, no one knows him better than you. You've done millions of rounds of sparring with him. How does he get on with the real big boys of the division?
I think Joe's at the perfect time now to mix it in with them guys. He's had the great fight with Joe Parker, and we saw what he'd done to him, who's a world level heavyweight, who's operated at the top level. But as you said, I sparred Joe hundreds of rounds, and he's at the peak of his powers now. You've seen as well over the last 6 months to a year. He's gone to another level, so he needs to strike while the iron's hot in the next year.
You're the toughest man you sparred.
Oh, just toughest and most relentless. Listen, I sparred some tough men. Dubois, Dave Allen, Chisora, Wardley, Fury. But Joe's just got something a little bit special. It's a bit different to other people. Everyone's got their own special gifts, and Joe's is just being relentless and being unbelievably tough. And as a heavyweight, thinking you've got to go 12 rounds to beat Joe Joyce, that's a demoralising thought. So you've got to, it's tough to deal with.
Do you think that's a big fact? That's a good point there. You've seen, the likes of Josie Parker. I remember he Joe Joyce about 3 or 4 left hooks in a row, and they would have dropped most heavyweights in the world. But him, Dubois, a massive puncher, when he doesn't go or doesn't even look hurt, that must be very demoralising for the other man.
Listen, we was there ringside with the Parker fight, and credit to Parker, what a great fight that was. And Parker is a top heavyweight. And you say, yeah, it demoralises, but you've got to realise when these guys get in with Joyce, they think they can win. They're not really thinking about that. But the reality is, once you're in there fighting him, that reality will dawn on you, and then that's when it must hit home. But only the very best will beat Joe Joyce if they beat him.
Don't get me wrong, Zhang is probably up there in the top 4, top 5 punchers in the division. So is he as powerful as Dubois? We'll find out, because Joe's obviously fought a massive puncher in that, but if he does land flush, it's not going to be nice for anyone, and we will see the Joe's chin tested in this fight, I'm sure.
The difference with Dubois, Dubois, Johnny's felt his power, he's got immense power, and no one's disputing that. The thing with Big Bang, he's got a little bit more experience. When Dubois fought Joe, he wasn't experienced. So when you've got a big, strong punch and experience, that could be trouble. But I think Joe...
Just picking this back up, yeah, your dad said he really wants to see the Joshua fight. Do you think he goes in, Joe Joyce goes in as a favourite against Joshua now?
Yeah, I do think in the current climate, Joyce would be the favourite in that fight. But I just think, I was watching Joshua on Saturday night, and the more I think about it, the more I think that was probably a good performance, because Franklin is no mug, is he? He's a great fighter. He's an awkward fighter, tough, and a lot of people like to sort of kick Joshua now that he's down, but he's rebuilding. He's got a new coach. Give him time. We want to see him in their big fights. I saw him put something out there. He's going to fight again in December. Hopefully that's because there's a big fight lined up against Fury or Usyk, or not Usyk, but Fury, or it's got to be Fury, isn't it? Do you think?
Fury, yeah, got to be. Well, there's got to be a reason behind it, and as I said, it's probably a little bit of a cryptic message.
Might be a bluff.
I heard he's waiting for you.
Listen, he can come and have a Chinese with me. That's all I'll do.
Listen, but regarding Joe Joyce, I think he would be the favourite going into that fight now, because I put him in that top with the Fury, Usyk and Joyce in that top 3 mix.
Last one, what's the update with you, mate?
Hopefully have a date signed and sealed in the next week or so.
Where's she from?
Where's she from? It's definitely not a second date, is it?
No second date.
No, but yeah, got to start my camp in the next week or so. So just started to get myself back in rhythm, and we'll have a nice fight in London in the summer. That's the plan.
Okay, sounds good. Listen, the fish is always a pleasure with you guys. I'm looking forward to a great week. See you Saturday night. Enjoy my day.
Thank you very much, and I'm taking my wife and daughter to my bed tomorrow, so let's get them budgie smugglers on.
Hopefully you come back in one piece.
Yeah, hopefully.
Top man, thank you, mate. Top man. All good?
I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
And it must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,